and today I will be talking about language diversity. First, I want to give a definition for what language diversity is and talk about how it affects us and our students in our classroom. We're going to talk about a few of the challenges and some of the opportunities to rise to the occasion to educate our students who are in this category. So let's begin. First, we can define language diversity as having a home or native language other than English. So we also can say that students sometimes who are linguistically diverse are also culturally diverse, meaning that their cultural group or background is not rooted in mainstream America. They come from somewhere else. So sometimes those two things are intertwined. So when we talk about language diversity, we can talk about students in three categories. Students who are non-English speakers, they speak their native language only. And sometimes we have students who are bilingual. They're English speakers, but they also speak their native language in the home. We also have students who fall in this category who also struggle with some type of disability. So it's a challenge for us as teachers to identify where our students are and address their needs individually and appropriately. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is also cultural comprehension. That plays a factor in educating our students who fall into this category. Cultural comprehension is students who view their experiences through the lens of their culture. Sometimes that can be in conflict with the culture we have in our classrooms. We call that cross-cultural dissonance when the home and school cultures are in conflict. Us as teachers have to be able to decipher that by getting familiar with some of the cultural norms and nuances so that we can see that maybe our students are not intentionally trying to be disruptive or presenting a challenge in the classroom behaviorally. Um, Also, behavior plays into that. Some of the things that are normal for some children to experience at home may not be acceptable or appropriate, we think, sometimes in our classroom. An example of that could be volume. Some children at home, the volume and the way the tone and the volume they speak in is louder than what we traditionally would want in a classroom. And sometimes we might view them as yelling at everyone, and they're not really yelling. It's just part of their behavior, part of their culture from their home settings. So they might express things verbally differently too. Sometimes children are used to verbally jousting or poking fun of in their own cultures. That's acceptable, but maybe not so much in our classrooms. So let's go into what we can do, the opportunities we have as teachers to do things differently with our students. One, check our biases. Making sure that we get familiar, build a relationship with our students, especially when language can be a barrier when students don't speak English. Sometimes they can feel ostracized or left out or lonely within our classrooms. Let's make every challenge we can, make every acceptance we can to build relationships and understanding into their lives. Also, considering our students when we're developing our lesson plans and using a variety of instructional styles to help our students. So, for students who are non English speakers, maybe using visuals or manipulatives or acting out to help them understand. Also, a good tip would be to get maybe a buddy in class or pair them up with somebody who does speak that language who can help translate the lessons. Working with our coordinators in our schools, finding ways, maybe resources, online translators, and things like that that we can implement in our classroom to help them learn. For students who are bilingual and they're trying to do the code switching in their minds between the two languages, maybe speaking slower, maybe adapting and modifying lessons to help them, making sure they understand the concepts, but giving them maybe oral ways if writing is a challenge for them. Or also, maybe we can do some alternate assignments where it's modified a bit for them. Also, acceptance is the key. Partnering up, buddying systems with other students in the class, creating a culture in our classroom where everybody is included, varying our assessments, doing different project-based or drawings or things like that to help the students to acclimate. All right, thank you so much. That's my presentation for today. I appreciate your time.